It's a combination of disco, of funk, of blues, of electronica, sometimes with soulful music, sometimes not, with the 4-on-the-floor drum beat that everyone talks about.
There's a 4-count beat, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's primarily what you hear in house music. It's this idea that the bass is hitting at every beat.
And then sprinkle a little bit of sultry, sexy male or female vocals on top.
No, it wasn't created in the Netherlands or in the UK. It comes from Chicago. These were the people who made it.
There's no denying that Chicago is the home of house music.
In festivals, cookouts, and kickbacks around the world, you can hear the signature sound of a cultural phenomenon. House music. Pilsen DJ Mo Mami says you can trace house music's origins back to disco's decline.
I mean, in 1979, we had the disco demolition night at the White Sox Stadium, which was when all these people were like, disco is dead, and we don't like disco, and bring your disco records and we're gonna burn them.
As disco began to die out around the country, historian Lauren Lowry says Black queer artists and DJs in Chicago flipped it, using disco as a source of inspiration to create a new sound.
What we did is we brought it in Chicago underground, and then we mixed it with the different music forms and of course electronica.
House music historian Micah Salkind says this new sound became the music of the marginalized.
At its core, it was made for and by Black queer Chicagoans. And so probably mostly Black gay men, some lesbians, people who identified all across the spectrum. And then from that core group of listeners, it inspired a group of teenage music entrepreneurs, many of whom were straight, actually, and were kind of ensconced in this parochial school party culture.
House music was very radical. It was a space for, I think, Black LGBTQ communities to come together and experience joy. To this day, house music is very much associated with queer dance spaces and queer communities coming together.
That clash of cultures happened right here in this building in West Loop, the Warehouse on Jefferson. In the late 70s, it was the mecca of house music and its growing fan base.
The Warehouse is often associated with the coining of the name house music. Arguably what is or isn't a genre that we call house music today happens because the Warehouse is the place where the most adventurous gay, Black, and Latino music aficionados are coming to party in the after hours after they go out to discos and to house parties and stuff in the mid to late 70s and early 1980s.
It's the #1, location for the origin of the music form. People decided at the record stores, people came in and said, where's that music that they played at the Warehouse? And I think it started to evolve into what people considered then house music.
And you begin to feel the thump, thump, thump of the 4-on-the-floor beats that were pumped out by this awesome sound system.
Kevin Mega McFall, the first ever publicist for house music artists, was a regular at the legendary dance club growing up.
You had high schoolers coming of age and wanting to not necessarily rebel, but certainly explore and discover.
Every weekend, the Warehouse hosted dance parties, overseen by a man who would later be considered a legend of the genre, Frankie Knuckles.
Frankie Knuckles is an artist and a creative that brought sounds from New York, brought the sounds from Chicago, brought the sounds of electronica from Europe, and mixed them together in such a way that made the Warehouse a unique institution. It starts here in basements in the city of Chicago. It becomes a global phenomenon probably within 5 years of On and On being put on a disc.
Now, house music is global, and major music superstars like Beyoncé, Drake, and Bad Bunny have put their own stamp on it.
If you're from Chicago, house music never went anywhere. It never really stopped. being the soundscape of the streets, the parties, the backyard parties, the underground parties, the raves, the warehouses, it never really went anywhere. But it is really cool to see this fascination and appreciation growing once again.